Hi, we are Group 7. On behalf of our group, Lorenz will perform the weathering, erosion, and deposition experiment. For this experiment, we'll be needing ice cubes, damp sand, baking sheet, straw, and a glass of water. Now the first step is to build up a land on the raised side of the pan using our damp sand, but make sure it is on the top half of the baking sheet. Next, place the ice cubes in the top corner of the pan. Here we used 5 ice cubes, 2 on the upper part and 3 on the lower part. Make sure the ice is set in a section of flat sand. Then, create a narrow riverbed down the center of the land by pulling your finger through the sand from top to bottom. After that, pour some water at the top of the pan. Watch closely. It looks like a river flowing through a riverbed. Can you see how the water is breaking down our sand riverbanks? This is an example of weathering. Remember that weathering is the wearing away of rocks, soil, and minerals into smaller pieces on the Earth's surface. Do you see how it's carrying little pieces of sand with it as it flows? That is an example of erosion. Erosion transports or takes the bits of rocks and mineral away. Here is another example of how rocks are weathered. We're going to use straw to weather the sand in another way using the power of wind. When he blew the air, the sand formation broke down from weathering. The air carried away the sand fragments through erosion, and the sand settled somewhere else through the deposition. Deposition occurs when the agents of erosion, which is water or wind, lay down the sediment. Now let's try improvised rainfall and see how it affects the sand. Do you see the same processes of weathering, erosion, and deposition? And finally, take a look at the ice cubes. The ice cubes represent glaciers. Do you notice any weathering or erosion where the ice cubes have been? These ice cubes are showing us glacial movement, which is a very slow process of weathering. Over time, the ice cubes will slide down, wearing down the land underneath them, carrying away some of the sand with them, and depositing that sand elsewhere. This one is another example of weathering, erosion, and deposition. Remember that weathering breaks the sediment, erosion takes the sediment, and deposition drops the sediment in a new place. That's all. I hope you learned something and as well enjoyed the experiment.